Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Okay, excuse me. Good eve. Okay, excuse me. Hello. Well, okay. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense. Also, the reason why it is called here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues. And we try to find logic. That reason, I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live. As always, who have already subscribed to the channel. I also from me into you. So I'm going to ask you, if not done so, please subscribe. Therefore, have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. And I see here that we have the presence of the future is golden. Good evening, future. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay. I want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode is on, meaning that become a subscriber to enter a comment. Now, take the regarding what I'm going to do is I'm going to compete because I'm having some technical difficulty. case. Uh, hello? Can anyone hear me? I apologize for the technical. People can hear me now. Um, about future, if you're still there, the link is in the chat. Um, so what, for the benefit of those of you who are not so open discussion, we talk about anything and everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss Mr. Anthony. The topic had to do with the group of people called the mulattoes and so or black. If I am mistaken, I apologize. during some virtual class, let me make this perfectly clear. YouTube creator has the right to have, and he chose to invite these two individuals. Meaning that report to be pro mulatto, which is perfectly fine. I think it should be probably are, whether they be mulatto, whether they be okay. Everyone has a face. Point. The future is golden. Appear on, and there were certain allegations that she was being disrespectful. I did not see it. Also, that mulatto, vanguard, and hybrid, or whatever he dresses himself, because his message is profound with him, to please stop attacking him and all that. Just deteriorated into an argument of which the future obsolete. Okay. And okay. And again, every YouTube creator has the right to whatever they wish. However, when it comes to that right, there's also a responsibility. That responsibility is making sure that no one gets disrespected on their platform. Okay? Or disagreement, the host to actually intervene and to try to bring some sort of peace and order. Now, I'm not saying that it is the whole moment with everyone, because sometimes that's not going to happen. It's going to be, and that's fine. Okay. However, when you do, it is your responsibility to try to make sure that everyone is respected, okay, and to be impartial, okay. Now, my understanding that the stream that he did has been either deleted or taken in private. His choice, okay. But again, if you're going to have people of different points of view, and if you sense friction, your role is to make sure to reduce the friction as much as possible. Good evening, Irby. How are you doing tonight? This topic tonight. However, I believe it's needed to be discussed. And again, one platform, or some people like to call it my insignificant platform. I never interview. And one thing I do will not allow is anyone on the nor will I allow anyone from the chat to be disrespected as well. Okay. Because if disrespects another person on the panel or on the chat, and after being advised a couple of times to refrain, they're going to be removed. My platform is a safe space for everyone. And this is not an echo chamber either. If you disagree, perfectly fine. You can disagree. We can, and all I'm asking is to state why with logic, and then we can discuss it further. But it was disrespected on any platform. Now, I have tried not to address the issue regarding hybrid vigor and mulatto vanguard. I am aware that there's been a lot of harassment alleged by these two individuals. Okay. And I have seen, okay, he can do reaction videos all he wants, okay? But a serious YouTube creator will produce serious content. And to be mindful that we all have to be very careful with what we say. And especially when people make accusations, okay? If you're going to make accusations on ladies, whether it be me, whether it be George or whomever, be prepared to produce receipts. And when I mean receipts, I mean actual evidence. I do not mean, I don't mean, I can hear your rhetoric, produce actual proof. Okay? Proof which can be verified, proof which because unfortunately you have certain people who make accusations but yet they don't produce any evidence to back it up. In fact, that was the main topic on Radical Latinos channel, where Tariq Rashid made some accusations against one YouTube creator, and to this point has not evidence. I'm going to say this, and it may not sit well with some people, but at this point, I don't care. If you're going to produce accusations, produce your, okay. And of course, there have been a lot of accusations made by hybrid. Regard, first of all, as far as their sexual orientation, who cares? Now, if you want to disagree, any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host or the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some reviews say my channel, and I'm going to try to bring in my guest. Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Oh boy. I know. Okay, you know what? Just give me a moment and see if I can do something. Please hold on. Come on!
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm just chilling, just relaxing.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. That's what's up.
Yeah.
How's your Sunday going?
Well, my Sunday is actually going good. I'm just being the famous YouTube villain that I am. So I'm taking it in stride.
I think we all hold that title at one point or another. But
Yeah,
hey,
but
Jose, the audio's better.
it's funny because a certain community of idiots, they want to try to say that I'm not something, but at the same time they have no proof. So therefore, I love the title of being the most hated YouTube villain.
What is it that they're saying that you're not?
Well, apparently, since I don't speak Spanish like good for the local Dominican population, you have some idiots that will try that are saying that I'm not Dominican, or they will try to say that I'm Haitian. But the thing is, though, which is funny, is that most of these guys are a bunch of idiots, and it's been proven, like in all social media platforms, that the people that have been trying to tell me that I'm not Dominican, they're not really that smart to begin with. So you have a whole bunch of idiots who actually believe just because I speak Spanish wrong that I'm not Dominican, and by my physical and the way that I look. So therefore, certain people will try to say, "Oh, he's that, or the third," when the fact is they don't have no brains. And then, second of all, I am who I say I am. So therefore, before anybody want to go and they want to make a campaign or whatever to see how much of a quote unquote fake Dominican I am. I know that I'm real. Everybody in New York know I'm real. So therefore, a lot of these guys, they don't even have platforms, and if they do have a platform, it actually sucks.
Right. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like I've seen Dominicans that have different appearance, but you definitely have like the Spanish features. So I think that they're kind of like people just like to say stuff to get a rise out of other people online.
Yeah. But it's like it's to a point that I've came through ignorance like this all through my life, and it's like if I walk down the street with me and my wife, right? Certain people they would not think that okay, I'll get even bad stares from certain Latinos just because I walk with my wife, and they would think that my wife is Puerto Rican, and they will not know that I'm Dominican
Right.
until I actually bust out speaking Spanish. They was like, "Oh my God, tú eres mi hermano." I was like, "You wasn't my brother 5 minutes ago."
Right. Right.
Uh,
Exactly.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Don Jose, we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, Jose?
Okay. Okay. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but as I alluded to, and I spoke to you before we got on, I mean, all the thing, and I saw the treatment that you received. Like,
Oh, the audio went out. But yeah, basically, I mean, I don't know. I've always had an issue with people coming into this space just attacking different people for no reason or trying to put them down or make them feel bad. So, the same way you have a Latino space, we have like a mixed race space. And of course, there are people in there telling people that they're fake mixed people. They're not really mixed.
All right, but
Um,
not for nothing, right? And
right,
I'm just, and this is one thing which a lot of people or don't say, right? If you actually look at the crux of what is called African American or something like that,
right,
if you actually take this, like out of all the slavery and everything like that, there is no pure. And I'm talking about America, right? I'm not
right,
talking about the Caribbean or nothing like that. I'm talking about America. In America, there's like no pure black person, and that's a fact. Because the reason why I say that is because even though you have certain people that they have racist attitudes and everything like that,
right,
during the American slavery, there was a lot of rape and sex being involved. So if a person comes out dark or darker or something like that, or they might be darker skin, that won't they'll be like, oh, that person has more of a black ancestry and everything like that. But the fact is, nobody will ever know that black person who might be darker skinned might have had a European ancestor. So my thing is that nobody nobody in America they could talk about mixed people if they want to do whatever, but at the same time, not none of them is pure. Not none of them could say, "Oh yeah, I am so pure, this whatever," because they went up and they stripped a lot of people's history. So therefore, for a person to say that they're pure at anything,
right.
but yet they have like maybe an admixture or something like that, if they were to even do a DNA test, it will actually humble a lot of these racists.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too. Like, no race is really pure. Every race is really, a combination of people, right, that came together at a certain time and just kept creating and creating until they had like only one phenotype, to be technical. But when it comes to people that are African American, yes, there are people that have a little bit of mixture from slavery. Um, but overwhelmingly, people who are mixed race are mixed either in these current generations you know, so like their mother, their father, and their grandmother, that type of thing. Or, you know, they have one of these communities where they were always mixed since slavery times, you know, where they were like free people of color, so to speak. But I
Right.
think what happens is there is a little bit of a difference, and there is a variation. So you do have a lot of people in certain middle ranges that could be considered mixed, or they could be considered black, whichever way you want to paint it, you know. But I tend to go by, like, if the person is perceived as mixed race by a lot of people and they kind of have the culture of being mixed race, then, you know, I just view them as mixed, you know. Like, I try to, before get into the business of saying, well, who really is mixed? But I think people who are brown, like chocolatey brown, you know, they usually don't say that they're mixed. I mean, maybe occasionally they are, but they usually will say they're black, you know. But, and I've known people in my own family who have been mixed, that have been like another sides of my family, very dark with curly hair, you know, that
Yeah.
type of stuff. Yeah, so that you know that they're mixed, but they came out very dark, but they usually say they're black. So, and then black people will be like, well, you're not 100% black because your hair is so curly. But I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
there's
Oh,
a lot of
oh,
variation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like like for example, right? Like I was talking to some of my black friends, like here in Philadelphia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because you have some of the population that they know that I'm Dominican
Mm-hmm.
or I guess mixed or whatever because I
Mm-hmm.
told them. And then you have certain people that don't know that I'm mixed until whatever. But it's like whenever I go certain place, certain places or whatsoever, you know, it's like when I used to live in New York, I always I always used to go to a Spanish club and they always have to give me the look down and everything like that. Nah, for real though.
Right,
Like
right.
like you know when you go to a Spanish club, you got certain people that they'll try to give you the look down. It's like, oh, you look like you trouble. And then is that security guard. So that security guard will be like, okay, um, yeah, your type. They'll try to tell me that my type will cause trouble, and then I'll be like, okay, so what's my type? He was like, you black people. I'm like, okay, since I'm black, right? How do I know this? Since I'm African American, I bet you and I we could. If you think that I'm African American, where you from? He was like, I'm Dominican. I was like, all right. So therefore, I say a little Spanish phrase, and then we have a conversation. It was, oh crap, and then I get in.
But could it be the way you carry yourself, right?
I mean,
Sometimes it's mannerisms. It isn't, like, sometimes it isn't always appearance, because sometimes you can tell someone could have like black skin, but you could tell that they're from like Africa or Haiti versus African American. You know what I'm talking about? Just by
yeah,
their
yeah.
mannerisms.
It's like how should I say? Since I'm from the Bronx, right? I don't move
Right.
like how should I say? Like a traditional Dominican or whatever. And my mom, she tried to have when I was like younger. She tried to have me dress like a traditional Dominican, and
Right.
and when she tried that, I had a lot of school fights because I'm telling you, it was like the baggy pants era. So therefore, if you didn't wear the baggy pants, I'm talking about from '96 till 2001. If you didn't
Mm-hmm.
wear the baggy pants like around the Bronx, 9 times out of 10, they'll actually consider you a weirdo. Um, they'll try to think of you as a part of the rainbow community. So therefore, just for me wearing tight pants,
Right.
I got into a lot of fights until my sister had to go and tell my mother, let him wear baggy because you're living in the old times. You want my brother to go around and have a whole bunch of fights just because you want to wear pants. And she had to tell him like, yo, you can't like he can't wear that. Don't you know that they so that they tell people that they're how should I say? I'm trying not to get nobody demonetized. I'm trying to say that that they're the peeping weirdos. So therefore you can't
So
go
they
and
don't swing
how
that
should I,
way.
not there. I'm saying like what how should I say? You know, people who are on that list for, you know,
Oh, the registry, the offender registry.
yeah,
Oh,
and it's not for adults. So
oh, I know what
therefore,
you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
for the
therefore,
kids. Yeah.
yeah, so therefore, when my sister went up and told my mom that, it reminds you, my mother, when I was a teenager, my mother was in her 50s. So when my sister had to tell my mom that, she was like, "Nah, you got to go around and do that." And after I started wearing baggy pants and everything like that, yeah, I've had fights, but it was not to the fights that was minimal be, because of that. You get what I'm trying to say? And now
Right.
and now since everybody's wearing tight pants and baggy pants is not there anymore, I'm like, okay, so that means that I got into all my school fights for nothing since all these young kids now is wearing tight pants. So so what happened? And then it's like they'll be like, oh, you sound like you're too black or whatsoever. I'm like, okay, and is that a problem? I mean, there's a lot of Dominicans that actually sound like me. They just speak better Spanish. Me and the other hand, I speak the worst Spanish ever. It's sometimes that my wife even actually correct me and stuff. But there's
You
two,
speak
and
Spanglish?
it's not so much Spanglish, but I don't speak Spanish in the correct manner, or I
Right.
might pronounce certain things wrong because of whatsoever. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, though, is like my upbringing. Certain people they could try to say, "Oh yeah, I had a Dominican upbringing," but the fact is that one person cannot speak for a whole race. Just like
Right.
just like a Muslim can't speak for another Muslim who is like from Saudi Arabia. So one day I was talking to a Muslim chick and she was talking about and she was going against, the PLO and whatever. So me and her we had like a discussion. So I told her, she was like, "Oh, these people would never date you, whatever." I'm like, okay, so what makes you the spokeswoman of the Muslim world when the fact is not all Muslims follow the same doctrine you do. So therefore, how the heck you, a Muslim from Tunisia, could go around and speak for a Muslim in Saudi Arabia if you never lived there? And then
Yeah,
she
it's
had to
always
cut
going to
that.
be different. It's always going to be different based on where you are, and even like Spanish. The Spanish obviously in Spain is going to be different than the Spanish spoken in New York. It's going to be different than what's going on in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and even Mexico. Like everybody's going to have like different words, different accents.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not like a static. Even if you can tell here, like when you hear people talking on the app and they're in different parts of the United States, you can tell that we are all from different areas, just based on how we speak. And some of the words that people use, like somebody was saying, she acts real janky. And I was like, janky? Like, who
Like
uses that term? But like, of course.
like for example,
Hmm.
nobody in New York until I would say like around 2010
Hmm.
was actually using the term ratchet. You know what was the original term what we used to call ghetto people or people who were just hood or
Yeah,
whatsoever and
I
they
think
didn't
they
know
were
better.
called hood.
Now we called them hood, we called them chicken heads, we called them trife. You don't hear those words anymore. Every
Oh, I
oh,
never
oh,
heard of trife, but I heard of hood.
mhm.
Um, and hood rat and ghetto.
And
Um, chicken
And,
head, I mean, very rare. Like I never
like
really
now,
heard it like that. Hmm.
but I'm talking about like in the 90s and such, you call a person chicken head, trife, and everybody everybody they wanted to try to aspire to that, the ones that didn't know better. They're like, yeah, I'm trife, or or whatsoever, you know what I mean? But now everybody's like, hey, he's ratchet, or this is ratchet. When the fact is that ratchet never really entered, I guess, the Eastern vocabulary until like maybe 2011 or so. You know what I'm saying? Because because the original word for ratchet be like, okay, like get this ratchet. Ratchet meant to tool or something like that. So ratchet, they actually entered the vernacular when you had like maybe when you had certain Southern people actually coming and living out in New York. So now
Oh, I
everybody's like, hey,
see.
you're ratchet, or yeah, this is ratchet, and they think that's cool to be ratchet.
Right, right. Yeah, it's like it is. It's true. It's like different words that people use. Cuz you're
Like,
right. I heard ratchet on television.
yeah,
That's when I first started hearing it. And I knew what it meant right away, but it wasn't until now I start seeing it used more. But like, and you know what, I do have a problem with the word ratchet though. And people get upset about me. This is where they start calling me like pro black. So basically ratchet means what? A poor black woman. You know what I mean?
right.
If it's poor white, it's okay. Or if a white woman acts that way, it's okay. If it's poor Latina, it's okay, or poor Asian. But if it's a black woman, then it's not okay. Then it's ratchet. Like I don't like those kinds of people always try to put everything on one group, make one group look bad all the time. Like that
I
kind of
mean, I'm, I
gets
mean, I'm,
annoying.
I'm, I'm just gonna say this, and a lot of people don't are not gonna say this. There's a lot of Latinas that they don't really rock with Cardi B like that because just because she does whatever. Even there's certain Latinas that they don't rock with Cardi B because of her stripper past or whatsoever the case may be, or of her gang affiliation. But the thing is
Mm,
though, as far as the West Coast and everything like that, everybody they could go and talk about, okay, yeah, you have I don't see Latinos joining the Bloods and Crips, but what a lot of people don't understand that during the 1980s and everything like that, you had certain people who were actually had Latino backgrounds. I'm talking about as far as Honduras and Mexico, El Salvador, and everything like that. Some of the people did not even go and stick with their own people. So they was actually grew up in the black hoods. So therefore, that's why you have like some Cuban Crips, you have some Cuban Bloods, you have
mhm.
some Salvadorian Bloods, and then on top of it, you have You have like two Mexican Peru Bloods. So
Right.
therefore, when people could try to generalize just because of the interview, there's also interviews when they're actually talking about the gang members and everything like that. That the Bloods and Crips they actually had, and they still do. They actually have Hispanic gang members. So therefore, just because okay, like the Sureños, they could talk about the Mexican Hispanics, but then what about all the other Hispanics that actually live in California, which the Mexicans can't really speak for?
Hmm.
So
Okay.
with that said, it's
Excuse
just
me.
that
I just want to. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
nah,
go
you
ahead,
can say it.
Jose.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. It just acknowledge that Jojo is in the chat, and I apologize. It's just that there is a delay when I speaking. I'm just trying to deal with these technical difficulties with my up tonight. Now, Jojo was asking about us making a comment, but he can't stream. Know if that's something that he wants to just comment in the private chat. So I just trying to see where he's coming from.
All
Yeah.
right.
And I wanted to talk about the Cardi B thing though. So when I look at Cardi B, I look at her as a cultural kind of icon, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
woman that came from the bottom, the least likely to succeed, that made it to the top. I mean, that's basically her brand, somebody that came from like the worst experiences and made it big. She's a hopeful kind of figure for a lot of women who may never have a chance to rise above their circumstance. So I mean, there's that aspect of her, where you can't get any lower. Like that's my perception. You can't get any worse in a sense as a woman. Like that's how they portray her. She was a stripper and doing all this other stuff. But then
Yeah.
she made major success and now she's a mother and she's a wife. So I think they try to put her in that light.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in a way is cool, but I also noticed like I did not like all of her music. Like I like her first songs, but that song WAP, like I'm just telling you, I hated that song so much. I was like, this is disgusting. Like, how you singing this, girl? Like, no, 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 no. And people were singing that song. I just thought it was crazy. I was like, I can't believe somebody is singing about that. That is insane to me. But a lot of people, they wanted to make it like some women, they feel very ashamed of themselves. So I kind of see how they try to always portray her as like something where women shouldn't be shamed for certain things, and I think that ties into people talking about feminism and stuff. Women shouldn't be shamed for their body, the things that happen with their body and so on, or lowly jobs that people think are terrible. You can
Yeah.
still be, you can still
Yeah.
achieve, but
Yeah. Cause
religion.
at
Mhm.
first, when I actually was listening to this song, and me and my wife, we wasn't married yet, but we were just
Enjoying
listening to that
some
song.
Cardi B.
No, we were just listening, and it was like, man, this song is crap.
May I ask, are you Dawn?
Hey, how you doing, George?
Good. Are you Dawn?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, that's
like, wait a
done.
second. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just used to your name and your actual photo. I'm like, wait a second. I think this guy is a Don Armando imposter because I think he's trying to imitate it.
I could
Nah,
tell by his
it,
voice
it,
that
it,
that was Don Armando.
it's me because I'm like, yo, I just like you know, if Don Jose could tell you, there's certain aspects that I actually do as far as have like a different picture or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll make Don Jose laugh. Like for example, I did like an Arab picture or something like that, and
I hear ya.
I said something like, okay, um, I'm shake, whatever, right? So when I went up and I actually came up on the panel, I had Don Jose straight up laughing just because he's like, well, we got and then I just had him laughing for the whole well, not really, but I actually had him laughing for the whole segment. So, you know, and sometimes I even have my own PTR or my pick as a Grinch or something like that.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, like what I was trying to ask earlier,
Yeah.
Jose, and even future Adonis, how are you guys?
A-
You know, what?
Actually, okay, we're discussing is what happened on last night's stream.
I know we're getting carried away talking about funny things, but yeah, we could talk about that, what happened on last night's stream. But I think Giorgio was trying to add something real quick. What did you
Yeah,
want to say, Giorgio,
yeah.
before we go into that?
Well, I actually can't really stay for long, so I kind of had to get up here just to ask just a question. So, how are you guys able to like be on this panel, but make comments in the public chat.
Oh,
You
this is
got to
what
switch back and forth.
Okay.
this is what I
Okay.
do.
Okay, I see
I
that
use
though,
my
but
phone.
I can't.
Okay.
I use my phone and my laptop.
Yeah, I switch back and forth between the pages. That's how I do it. But yeah, Jose, what were you gonna say?
Okay.
Can you hear us, Jose?
Yes.
Yeah, Jose wanted to talk about last night, and so last night there was a stream where the new content creator Anthony Ali, I guess what happened is he had Mulatto Vanguard and Hybrid Vigor on the panel. I don't know why, but I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, they just, I don't know. It was just a, like, this space has been, put through the ringer, the mixed race space, and it just felt like, just like maybe he was unaware. But for some reason, when I came on the panel, I asked him a question, and he felt like I was being disrespectful to him, which I don't feel like I was being disrespectful. I felt like I just asked him a question, but for whatever reason, he was saying, "Oh, you were being disrespectful to me." And I noticed that sometimes people feel like other people are being disrespectful. Maybe they're not aware of how their tone comes across. Like right now, I'm talking to you, right? Like maybe you could feel like that. You could feel like, oh, she's so disrespectful. But I feel like I'm talking to you normal.
It's just gaslighting, because if you really look at it, I mean by certain guys and everything like that,
Right.
I could go and tell you, for example, I told everybody, my mom Dukes was born in the Dominican Republic.
Right.
And my dad was born in the Dominican Republic. So on my mother's side, her parents came from St. Kitts. Now, this is how stupid certain people are. I went up and I told you plainly on who I am. Why the heck a guy's gonna only focus on what my mother was, but yet you forget what my father is?
Right.
So therefore, you want to go with the fact just because that my mother, who was born in the Dominican Republic, right, and but her parents came from St. Kitts, right? So you're gonna focus on the fact that about my mother's ancestry, but yet you can't say anything about my dad. So therefore, you want to gaslight a whole thing just because of my mother's ancestry. But yet the thing is, though, you have a whole bunch of people that want to believe something, but I already said what I said. So if you want to go and try to take a person's word and try to gaslight the whole population, how is it that I'm denying who I am when I actually put it out there? You get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're trying to say, but I think people, they just perceive like race issues different. You know what I mean? They perceive like, some people, if the father is black, then you're black. If the father is white, but your mother is black, then you're black. Like people have all of these weird ideas of race, so in a way you never win with that one, because it's always people's perception that you're arguing against, so even with people like me. So yesterday, to even bring it back to the topic, we were arguing about the word MGM actually. So they don't like the word. The biracial people hate the words, some of them hate the word MGM. Oh, anybody can say they're MGM.
What does MGM actually stands for?
Well, what happens is most of us who are mixed by our parents, like let's say both of your parents are mixed, but you're not biracial. Like you would look biracial, light skin, curly hair, tan skin, curly hair, green eyes, hidden features, stuff like that. Most of us just say we're mixed, But like when we come into the spaces and we're being specific, we're saying multi-generationally mixed or MGM. But
Oh,
for
all
whatever
right.
reason, some of the biracial people are like, oh, those are fake mixed people. They're not real. You know, this shouldn't even be a question. You know, we're not talking about gatekeeping all day and night, gatekeeping. Like,
I mean,
no,
I mean,
that's
if
all
you
they want to
actually
talk
look,
about.
I mean, if you actually look at it, right, the term gatekeeping, right, is
Hmm.
actually has always been used, I guess, like in a negative connotation, because they want when you say gatekeeping, gatekeeping always have like a negative connotation. Like, okay, like for example, you have certain people who I could consider gatekeeping in my community, and they want to try to say, "Oh, we're gonna make it strong." So the only thing that these idiots only have to say is that, "Oh, we're from Spain," or you have to have a Spanish thing. When the fact is that they can't even summarize where they come from in Spain. So with that aspect, when people try to gatekeep another person without knowing the history and everything like that, they want to gatekeep a person just because they feel that that person is going to steal their benefits or whatsoever the case may be. When the fact is, we're just telling our truth.
Right.
So therefore, to go back to the part of gatekeeping, a lot of people they want to watch these pseudo I call them pseudo professors or whatever the case may be, because you got a lot of people who say, "Oh yeah, these are gatekeepers," just because they watch certain people that have been like, I guess, in the music industry or whatsoever the case may be, and they do not know what the definition of gatekeeping is. So therefore, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's a gatekeeper." When the fact is that person might actually have some knowledge on what you want to do or something, but yet if it's an information that does not go against that goes against your narrative, or all of a sudden that person's a gatekeeper. I don't agree with that.
Right. Um, but I mean, there's a time and place for gatekeeping, but let's say this space was already established as a mixed and light-skinned space,
Right.
but some people came into space and try to say, well, it should only really be men, or it should only really be women, or we only want to have younger people, or we only want to have people with white mothers, or people who are biracial are the only ones that really belong, you know, like that kind of stuff. No, no,
Right.
no, no,
But
no. It's all mixed and all light skinned people. That's it. That's
my
it.
my thing is this, right? As pertaining to towards mixed people and everything, right? Okay, let's say if there was a person, right, that might have like some admixture, like for like that's mixed, and he has nothing black. You get what I'm trying to say? Let's say if a person is Arab and Chinese, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but let
So
me let me pause you for a moment. So, how you doing, Irby? Welcome to
Hi,
the panel.
thank
there,
you. Hey, what's up, everybody? I just would like to say
Hello,
something
Irby.
about. Oh, hey,
Yeah, go
Jose, I
ahead,
would like to
Irby.
say there. Those two, Vanguard, Hybrid, they are gatekeeping because they have this fear. If y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah, I
yeah,
can hear you.
They have this fear that
Yes.
they have a fear that that some black men, particularly unambiguous, like a Michael Jordan lookalike. I don't like to name other people, but I'm gonna just name him in particular, sneaking in these spaces.
all right,
That they hello,
yeah, I'm here,
hello,
yeah, I'm here,
y'all can hear me?
yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, I heard everything I said. They have this little
Yeah.
fear going on, so that's why they want to keep telling people how people look, cam up.
Well, you know what? My problem with telling me to cam up, first of all, they were doxing people. So I know you must be out of your mind if you think I will ever cam up after you doxed a bunch of people. That's the most insane thing I have ever heard. Okay.
After after they
So,
harassed a bunch of women in these spaces.
yeah, it's the women though. It is the women. And I don't know, for some reason people don't see it, but I can see it clearly. Um, and they try to make it like it's not about women, but they had a history. And see what happened is people found out about their history in the past of going to these different platforms and harassing women. And it could be Black women, it could be Black lesbians, it could be different types of feminist women, but they were going to these different platforms and terrorizing the women and harassing them. And then when they would get kicked out, they would find another place to go to. Now they came to this place and they're trying to act like, oh, they're about mulattoes. I'm like, they don't care anything about mulattoes. All they do is copy other people's content. So like if I do a stream, they'll watch my stream and try to criticize everything I'm saying and be like, she's stupid and she doesn't know what she's talking about. And look at right here, that's not what that means. And she's not that smart. And that's what they do every time I hold a stream. And they do the same thing with magic. So to me, yeah, they're not here about no topics. Because if you were here about that stuff, you will have a channel and you will be talking about mulattoes. But what they do is they copying other people's content and then claim they're about mulattoes and they don't want nobody that's not a mulatto.
Yeah. Talking about that, like within the Hispanic community, I know that there's how should I say, 3 content creators. Well, they I will not call them content creators because they're idiots. But their whole thing, right, is to go is one of them. One of these content creators got mad just because I said what I was. So me and him, we had a verbal altercation on February 27th, where he proceeded to go around and disrespect me and my wife. So I got mad and I went up and I dissed him. And me personally, if I personally see that content creator again, because I seen him in the Dominican parade, and I was about to punch him in his face, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go do that because for the sanctity of the Dominican parade. But if I ever see him in New York, I'm like, yo, you disrespected my wife, so we got to handle this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? I value that because it's the same thing with me as a woman. I'm not going to let anyone disrespect my father, my brother, my husband or son. I'm not going to let some woman come in and disrespect the men in my family. And it's not up to the men in my family to check a woman. And the same goes for, men. Like as a woman, I shouldn't have to be fighting men online. And that is why they keep picking on the different women, because the women feel really uncomfortable arguing with men. Like if you heard my voice yesterday, I was emotional because I was like, you have been talking so much about me for months, and I've never said anything. And I ignore you, but you keep lying. Like you're always lying and making up these stories about me.
It's like with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got these dudes that they continually lie, and the thing is, though, one of them even try to have a thing called the Dominican card, and he's like, "Oh, how could you revoke your Dominican card?" Actually, you can't, and I'm going to tell you why this system is stupid. To my knowledge, I'm a Christian, right? And I don't know what faith belief system or that people follow on here. But to me, if you're a person and you telling another person, I had a dream of so and so to tell me that I could go around and tell people who are Dominican or not, I could go around and take your Dominican card. Okay.
You know what? I gotta step down because somebody's calling me on my house phone. I'm gonna come back up in a few minutes. I gotta step down. I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes.
Golden.
Okay, bye-bye, Jose and Herbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a point before I have to step. Huh? I wanted to make a point before I step down because I got to get something to eat.
Go ahead.
Make one last statement. I'm surprised that they have an issue with the term MGMs and all these other mixes of people when when I look at the algorithm, because I came on one of their channel one time and they had it was, and it's still left in my algorithm. They had a picture of Steph and Aisha and Swiss Beats, and they're MGM last time I checked.
Yeah,
So I don't know what the issue with that term, but
I
that's all
mean,
I had to say.
the thing is though, I think this is what I'm thinking, and from what you just from what she's describing, and from what I went through with certain of these racist YouTubers, that's why I called them, is that they have like the same talking points, which is, oh, this person is not there or anything like that. And their whole entire life, you could actually see that they really don't have like a social life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So their social life is actually based on just is actually just based on disrespecting people and everything like that, because they don't really have, they might have had some trauma or some or whatsoever. So therefore, the only way that they could actually feel good about themselves is when they actually go on spaces and such and just disrespect random people. And since they think that there's no consequence to it, they're gonna keep doing what they do. Copying other people's content, depending on and and they're gonna do that until they actually get to their ultimate goal, which is 1,000 subs or whatever. And then if they even go with that goal of 1,000 subs or something, right? You will actually see the mundane savagery or foolishness that will be on the internet from these guys. So it's like some of the people that beef on me, they don't even have a platform that's popping or popping at all. So therefore, they actually go to one person's platform, which is popping, so they could go and try to tell people um how Dominican they are or not, whatsoever the case may be. So what's going to happen is that when one of them actually have a platform, they're going to just be there just as free commentators, and I'm seeing that now. Don Jose, and shout out to Reese from Philly.
Okay, excuse me. Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, and the topic is going to be the mentally and intellectually, the benefit of failure. These are certain individuals who cannot take opposing viewpoints, points, and then they get all bothered.
All right.
Okay, I apologize. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Oh, shh. Okay. As I was trying to say, oh boy, I'm going to be doing a stream this Thursday night, and
Yeah, Don Jose. I'm about to step off because I have something to do, but I'll come back on your next stream. It was nice have of you
Okay.
having me on the panel.
Okay. Well, thank.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Take care. Be safe.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Can anyone hear me? Okay. I apologize. I'm having technical. Yeah. Yeah. It's still live. It's just that I'm having a lot of technical difficulty. I need you to rehab. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for tonight is basically open discussion, and we were talking about what happened, Anthony, last night. There was a verbal conflict and hybrid vigor and mulatto vanguard. Uh, because we had devoted a good amount of stream regarding that topic. A couple things, streams that are gonna go on for this week. Um, Now on Wednesday, I'll be doing a stream on how to bring sanity to the holiday season. The reason why we're having this discussion is because it's for multiple reasons. One of them has to do with preparations for social events, and also other things that can to the holiday season. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have the discussion, see how we can bring some sanity. And on this, I have reached out to co-host the stream with me, um, and I believe that this is an appropriate topic being that we are in the holiday season, and of course, people can have some outrageous expectations. So we're going to have a discussion regarding that. Also, on Thursday, we're going to have a stream. No, the stream is still going on. If you want to join the panel, you can do so. Now, Thursday, I'm going to have a discussion regarding the mentally and intellectually challenged, a revised case study. Now, that's a term that I have not used. Who are the mentally and intellectually challenged? They who are not able to accept other points of view. They lash out on those who have different points of view. They get very emotional when you disagree with them, and calling people names, gaslighting, and things of that nature. And we have hybrid vigor and mulatto vanguard. So I'm sure it's going to trigger some people. Some people are going to get upset. People are going to get sensitive about it. And I'm sure that there's going to be like 8 or 9 videos just regarding the stream tonight, and a couple more streams regarding the stream on Thursday. All I got to say is the following. Anyone that does nothing but reaction videos is weak and pathetic and has no life. And this individual has the nerve to say that my panel is insignificant. I have a question. If my channel is so bloody insignificant, why do you spend so much time talking about me? Why do you do videos about me if I'm so insignificant? It is perfectly clear that I'm living rent-free in Hybrid's mind. And the fact that he's constantly attacking the female creators, such as the Futures Golden, Magic, Golden Goddess, and Multi, with no legitimate reason. Now, if you want to disagree with what they say, that's perfectly fine. But to be calling them lesbians, calling them feminists, and using it as a negative term and harassing them, that's way out of line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage everyone to report all of his streams to YouTube, so hopefully his platform can be taken down. Okay. And to each one's own. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, he can talk whatever crap he wants. The fact of the matter is, I've gained so far this year 147 subs, and it's based on pure content regarding different issues. And as far as me not getting the views, first of all, there are many factors that go wrong. That's why for other YouTube creators that may be on at the same time. Also, live. There are other people that may not watch it live, but watch it on the playback. And let's keep a buck. Streams that go negative, streams that are wretched, streams people are yelling and screaming and carrying on and on, always have more views. It is a reality. Okay. And I say, you know what? You can run your platform any fashion, any way you wish. You can invite who you wish on your platform. Okay. But here on this platform, I discuss everyday issues. And the purpose is to come together with logical solutions. So, and everyone's views are welcome. Excuse me. Okay. Now, and to be perfectly honest, I owe a great deal of appreciation and love to my followers because you made it possible for me to have the success that I've gained. Okay. Because week in and week out, you come and support this platform. Okay. And at times I will have topics that will be pushing the envelope, so to speak. The difference is that I always strive to keep it positive. I always strive to keep it professional. If we're going to disagree, okay, let's hear it. Why do you disagree? Okay. Maybe your point is valid. Okay. However, if you do not articulate your point, how do you know whose point is valid? And that's the whole point of this platform. So I'm just going to talk about the stream that I did last week. Now, Sunday, of course, I had my stream regarding to biracial and Latino shared similar concerns. And the whole purpose of that is to have a serious discussion to see if we do have similar concerns. And what we did was we discussed concerns that were similar to us. We also discussed concerns which was unique to our respective communities. And I also spoke about how if we're going to form an alliance, it has to be something where both parties can mutually benefit. If there's an alliance where only one person receives, it's not a true alliance. That's basically manipulation. And actually, out of all the streams I've done, that's been one of the most viewed in a long time. I actually gotten 265 views. And then on Tuesday, we discussed, can we learn from our mistakes? And the whole purpose behind that is that there's a time for reflection and at a time where we have to acknowledge the fact where we made mistakes and then take the mistakes as an opportunity to learn and not to repeat those same mistakes. And let me tell you something, I have made a lot of mistakes in my lifetime. Some of them were big ones. And of course, mistakes have consequences. So if you're able to learn from your mistakes, then what you're going to do is you're going to avoid the negative consequences of big mistakes. And then on Thursday, we have a discussion regarding what makes a cult. So what I did was I gave some examples of the most notorious cults, such as the French Davidians and Jim Jones and the People's Temple and what have you, and also discuss what we can do with people who are unfortunately belong to a cult. And among the things we need to be mindful of is we need to be patient with these people. We need to be understanding with these people. And the problem is people who do not feel that they belong where they're very easy targets of cults. So I will be doing this, like I said, I will be doing a stream. Now, also, I'm going to be doing a stream in a regarding the beef between the female creators and the male creators. You see a lot of going back and forth, and it's usually because it's causing a lot of grief with such individuals like the features Golden Magic, Golden Goddess, and Multiracial Movement. So I'm gonna be doing a stream. I'm gonna announce possibly next Sunday. I'll make a decision by my next stream, which I'm scheduled on Wednesday, and hopefully I'll be able to do the stream regarding how to make our holiday season less stressful. Okay. I will be doing a stream Wednesday. If for some reason I have to reschedule that stream, I'll do so. I will make an announcement. Also, I'll do a short video. Also, I will do so on my community tab. And one thing I have noticed on my community tab regarding that topic, let me just see. Believe it or not, there actually been 25 comments in my community tab regarding do biracial people and Latinos share similar concerns. Now, some of them has been yes, and some of them have been no. But I do appreciate the feedback. Okay. I happen to believe that there's certain things. I believe that there are certain issues that our respective communities share. Okay. I also acknowledge the fact that there are many differences regarding our respective communities, and there's certain issues that is left to be best settled internally. Now, can there be unity among mixed people? I think it's going to take it's going to be a long process, and I going to tell you why. Because as an outsider, I see there's been a certain amount of strife regarding certain YouTube creators, and for various reasons. I think what needs to be done is, first of all, they need to be unity within all the individual subgroups, whether it be mulattoes, whether it be MGN, whether it be Golden Spear, whether it be light skin, whether it be exoticals, Now I know there's other subgroups of mixed people, which unfortunately I do not have full knowledge. So if there's anyone from the mixed community, please don't feel upset if I don't remember all of them. I'm still trying to figure it all out myself. And to be honest, um, I think some of the people in the mixed community are struggling to see where they belong and who they are. So I think if there's going to be unity, there has to be unity within the subgroups. I mean, I'll give you an example. When it comes to the MGMs, um, there's going to have to be a sense of unity among the NGMs before we can talk about uniting with the other mixed groups. Okay. Once there once there is unity within the subgroups, then there's a possibility that there could be unity within the mixed community itself. And then maybe once you get to that point, there might be some sort of alliance with other communities, whether it be the African American community, the Latino community, or the LGBTQ plus community. So I think, and I hope the mixed community do not get upset with me, but I think it's going to be a long process before this unity within the mixed community, based on all the interaction that I've seen. Um, Also, we must bear in mind that there's going to be certain individuals that will not be in agreement to form alliances with other subgroups. And I say that's perfectly fine. If you want to have your own separate subgroup, by all means, knock yourself off. Those of us who wish to form alliances will do so. Okay. And let me make this perfectly clear. No one is obligated to form an alliance with anyone. Once we make that perfectly clear, maybe people ahead. I'm not saying they're gonna have to do it. What I'm saying is, at least they might consider it. And I'll say it again. There is good and bad in every community. These individuals who act irresponsibly, who attack others, they're the ones that get the most noise. Okay. So, and they at times seems to be the loudest, which is unfortunate, but that is the reality. So, is that those of us who are not in favor, fine. Thank you very much for your honesty and have a good day. So what I'm gonna do is, um, if no one else, I'm gonna start to, I wasn't planning to discuss in any length regarding what happened in Mr. Anthony Ali's stream. But okay. And the reason why I was trouble is that that is with members of the panel is a responsibility to try to ease tensions. And if those if the parties they don't be, no one is obligated. And with all due respect, the future of Gordon did not say anything or do anything that was disrespectful. Okay. Now I'm sure it's going to be some reaction videos from my haters. And all I'm going to say is Malala Vanguard and Hybrid Vigor. Thank you very much. Okay. I can see that I live rent free in both of your minds. And we are concerned regarding the issue with mulattoes. Instead of going on making accusations regarding women who are lesbians just because you disagree with what they say, and mulattoes. I'm sure your fellow mulattoes, if you spent less time going into these personal attacks and more time actually address issues with your father. It will help to create a change. And I'm sure not all mulattoes are good. Again, there's good and bad in every community. But in any case, I do appreciate the fact that we have people like, well, I need you to rehab. Reese from Philly, Irby, else in the chat who made the comments felt. I also appreciate those on the panel, Don Armando, the future is gold. Okay. And one thing that I want to understand, if you don't remember anything that was discussed in tonight's stream, is the following. People should be respected for who they are. People should be respected for what they believe. If you disagree with them, fine. If you cannot see yourself forming an alliance with these individuals, don't. But to be constantly verbally attacking people and doing numerous streams simply because you disagree with what they said, okay, that's not acceptable. Now, in regards to the allegations regarding him being, how can I say this? Okay, when it comes to certain allegations that made against him, if you're going to make those allegations, produce your facts or don't say them. But one thing we did that it's been verified, he does harass the women creators on YouTube for reasons only he knows. Well, that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. And as always, I do appreciate all the love and support that all of you has given me. And I see there's still 4 people watching the stream. And to that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. Again, another subscriber. Thank you very much. I want to thank all those who did not enter a comment but view the stream anyway. I also want to thank all those who will view the stream in the playback. And I also welcome your comments. All I ask is please keep it respectable and be mindful. Any inappropriate comments, it will be deleted, and then you will be blocked. It is that simple. And again, to all my haters, no one is taking a gun to your head to watch my content. So if you don't like my content, don't partake in it. And if you continue to do streams about me or videos about me, all you're doing is creating free press and making me even more known. And by you constantly saying that my platform is insignificant shows that my platform is very significant, simply because I have people who are constantly talking about it. Well, in that case, I thank everyone who stopped by, even if it was only briefly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up, and I just want to say thank you very much, and hopefully I will see you all on the next stream. And what I will ask, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So that being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Thank you very much for being here in this insignificant platform about white old man, senile man. Oh my goodness. Yeah. People don't realize I'm Latino. So that being said, have a good night. Take care and peace.